Is Tesla a $1,000 stock? No, it's not. It's a $5,000 stock. And in this video, I'm going to tell you why. And I got to give credit where credit is due. I believed that Tesla was a growing stock. It's the largest stock in my portfolio. But I didn't really understand the depth of why it is until I read this article, Why Tesla Will Dominate Autonomous Driving. It's part of the articles that I receive every morning from Seeking Alpha. Is this a paid video? No, I receive no money from Seeking Alpha, and I give them no money. We have formed a partnership. We're going to help each other grow. I do interviews with the CEO, David Jackson, and you'll see some of those as we go further, because David wants you to become a better investor, and best of us investors want you to become a better investor. So I want to share with you why I believe, like Seeking Alpha author believes, why Tesla will dominate autonomous driving. So stay with me while I'm gone. Subscribe to Best of Us Investors. Go to bestofusinvestors.com. Give me your email and your name, and I'll send you an invitation to our Discord. We're approaching 16,000 people at the Discord that share ideas beyond what I do on YouTube. They say, Kerry, look at this stock, and then we have a group of people that analyze these stocks with Seeking Alpha's help, and we share our findings on our Discord. So I'll be right back.
Best of Us Investors presents Kerry Griegmeyer.
So why do I think Tesla will be a $5,000 stock? I want to give you an analogy. Some of you don't have the benefit of age and experience that I do to understand this analogy. Back when I was a young boy, we had rotary phones. That was a little black phone with you put your finger in the dial and you dialed the number. That was then replaced many years later by a flip phone. Okay, some of you remember the flip phones, and then that phone was replaced by a cell phone, and then that was replaced by a mobile phone, a mobile device. We're going to go through that same transition with autonomous vehicles. We have the internal combustion engine, and we have been on the internal combustion engines for years, for decades, okay? In fact, in 1908, there were 253 auto manufacturers in the United States. That's right, 253. We've moved through that, so in 1980, we had the big three. And as a result of the subprime crisis, that dropped down to two. We now have Ford and General Motors. See the progression there. See the change. See the fact that the big three introduced us in the 50s to planned obsolescence, and the cars that break down, you got to replace them. And then the Japanese came in and said, hey, we can make you a car that'll go for 100,000 miles, and that changed. Well, those same progressions come. We have now moved from the internal combustion engine to the electric vehicle, and right now, there are actually 16 major manufacturers of automobiles in the world. None of them are Tesla or NIO or what's that, Ping and Die or whatever. None of them are in that 16. Those 16 then market to us roughly 60 brands. And there are some small automobile companies, but that's the progression that's happening. But what a lot of people get hung up on is they think this progression is going to stop at the electric vehicle. No, that's the flip phone. That's the flip phone. We aren't to the end goal yet. The end goal is an autonomous vehicle, a vehicle that you just get in and you do something other than drive. Think about that. That's going to change you don't care if it's a red car, a black car. You don't care what the interior design is. It's going to change the whole vehicle industry. And the electric vehicle is just the first step in it. So what I'm telling you, and what this article I read in Seeking Alpha is telling me, is the technology is going to become more important than the vehicle or the propulsion of the vehicle. So that what we're trying to do, what autonomous automobiles are trying to do, is to improve upon the data, the knowledge of the human driver, so that as a result of the data provided through the human driver and artificial intelligence and machine learning, we now have a better driver than the human being. Okay? So with that being said, the data becomes the driving force. The importance moves from the question of driving there to just getting there. I will dial up on my mobile phone Uber and say, come pick me up, and I'll get in a vehicle and I'll either work or I'll be entertained. I'll do whatever I want. I won't care. I might say on Uber, I want a luxury car or I want a sports car or something like that. But the importance is going to be the journey and what happens in the journey. I honestly believe I won't have a car. I right now have $200,000 worth of depreciating assets that I pay roughly $7,000 a year to maintain in my garage. And I use it in my life, in my day, less than 5% of the time. Why would I have that in my garage? If all I got to do is pick up my phone and say, pick me up in 5 minutes and I want a luxury vehicle. I don't care what color it is. Why would I? So the question becomes, what is going to separate these electric vehicles and take us into the autonomous element? And what is going to be important? Data. Data is what's going to be important. Because again, think of it this way. I'm 76 years old. I've been driving for 60 years. I've had 3 automobile accidents. One of them was a major. Got hit by a dump truck. And the dump truck came around a corner. As it was in my lane, the driver swerved to get out of my lane, went up on a bridge abutment, got up on 2 wheels, and came careening at the car that my father and my 3 brothers in, slammed into our car. My younger brother got thrown through the windshield, bleeding through his forehead. I was sitting in the back seat. The back window come back down on me and my other brother, and full of glass all over the place. The truck driver, when it hit us, threw us back on the other wheel. He went through the passenger window and the truck crushed him. Now, I have that data in my mind. I know what happened. If I saw it happening again, I know what I would do. Would I put on the brakes? No, I'd accelerate. Get out of the line of fire of that truck. Now, a 16-year-old wouldn't have that data. That's what autonomous automobiles are all about. Gathering that data, learning from that data, and then through artificial intelligence and machine learning, telling that vehicle what to do when that truck comes roaring at you and getting you out of the way. That's a major element of it, and there's enormous minor elements. So the question becomes, what is the best system? And who is going to dominate? And why do I think it will be, for sure, Tesla? Because I think using video as opposed to using laser, you're going to have a bigger database. You're going to have more information there so that me, as the person who's getting in that autonomous vehicle, is more comfortable with that database than the laser data that is just merely seeing in lines what is there and then reacting. Can the laser determine or distinguish a squirrel from a beer can? I don't know. I don't think so. I know a camera will. Can a laser see a deer coming off out of the woods and project that it's going to come in front of my vehicle? Or would a video of a deer coming off the road and it happening many, many times, would that be, through machine learning and artificial intelligence, would that be the better way? I think it would. And I think that's what's going to happen, because that data is usable anywhere. If it works in the United States, it works in China. Whereas the Wemo, they've got to map every street to make that autonomous vehicle work. And then they've got to have a major computer in the seat or in the trunk to make that work. That isn't going to be true. So what do I see happening? What I see happening is that much as you have a choice right now in the automobile industry, as I said, you had 253 choices back in 1908. Well, back in the early, 90s, I had quite a few choices for searching on the internet. Ask Jeeves was one of them. You remember them? And Aula Vista, all kinds of them. And the only ones that have survived are Google. I also have Bing and Yahoo, and there's others. But 60% of the searches in the world are done by Google. Why is that? They have the most data. They are the most reliable. How many times do you pick up your phone, if you have a Samsung phone, and say, Google, how old is Tom Brady? Oh, okay. Google, what time is the Super Bowl on this Sunday? How many times do you do that with Bing? How many times do you... Now, on an Apple phone, you do it with Siri, okay? So there may be two companies. But what I believe is that Tesla will be comparable to Google 6 years from now. And Tesla will own the autonomous vehicle business. Now, my mind then went one step further. How much do you pay a month for Google? How much a month do you pay for Facebook or Twitter or TikTok? Or how much do you pay to watch this video? Unless you want to take the ads out. Could that be part of Tesla's package? That if you'll agree to watch certain TV programs, YouTube ads, in your Tesla vehicle, it doesn't cost you anything. Could that be? I don't know. But I know the key, the gold of today, the oil of today, is not Bitcoin. It's data. And Tesla owns the data in the autonomous vehicle world. The fact that it's electric is secondary. That is going to be a secondary issue because they're all going to be electric. What you're going to choose, what you and I are going to choose, just like we choose Google search, we're going to choose the Tesla vehicle. So, with that in mind, is Tesla a $1,000 stock? Hell no, it's not a $1,000 stock. It's a $5,000 stock, and I'll live to see it. So, there's a go-to, you need Seeking Alpha. Why Tesla will dominate autonomous vehicles. He goes into details about their aerodynamics. He shows me a battery in the back, or a computer in the back of the Wemo. I mean, I don't know. He tells me how the Tesla body is molded out of 3 pieces and it's light and it's aerodynamic. I don't know how I survived, how I got as far as, I connect the dots. I see what's happening. But my life has opened up, or my investment life has opened up when I got my subscription to Seeking Alpha. And granted, I got it free because I formed a partnership. Because this partnership is designed not to educate me. Well, yeah, I guess it is. But it's to open your eyes, to make you a better investor. And that's what I want you to know. You know that hedge funds jerk you around and manipulate the market and rig the market. Well, you can do the same thing. You can become the smartest guy at the table. You can understand why something's going to happen. I talk a lot about education. And if you haven't read this book told me what's going to happen in the automobile industry. The future is faster than you think. If you haven't read this book, Amy Webb's The Big Nine, and she doesn't talk about data. She talks about the data and artificial intelligence with 9 stocks, and she doesn't talk about Tesla because this book was probably written, I could look it up, in 2017, and this thing is happening so fast that this book missed Tesla, and it was written probably in 2017 or 2018. It's happening so fast, and you have a window into it. All you've got to do is read, okay? Or subscribe to sources that will give you the leg up that you want. Or become a part of Best of Us Investors. It's that simple, folks. It's all about what's up here. And then what you got to do is get that, I know what just happened. You said, I can't do that. I'm not that smart. I could never do that. I'm going to have to keep watching YouTube and they'll tell me what to watch. I can't make those decisions. Get rid of that roommate in your head that tells you can't. You can. You can be anything you want to be. You can be the next Elon Musk if you decide to, if you educate yourself and you push yourself forward and you get rid of that person that says, I can't do that. Okay. Getting a little crazy here. That's because I take this supplement called NMN. I learned about that in this book, Lifespan, NMN. Buy it on Amazon. It's pretty expensive, but wow, does it give me energy. Okay, subscribe to Best of Us Investors. Become a part of our tribe. Join our Discord. And I'll open all kinds of windows for you. I'll pull that curtain back and tell you what's going to happen next year, 2 years from now, because I know. I have experience and I have knowledge. And that's what you need to do. Set yourself free.